So I think at this point, Fortnite is a game that doesn't really need an introduction, but just in case you're 94 years old and accidentally clicked on this video and don't know how to close it, or you're an actual baby that just came out of the womb, I'll give a quick rundown so you can get the general idea of it. So Fortnite is a battle royale game with up to 100 people, and the only real objective is to be the last man standing at the end of the round. Think freeze tag, except there's no freezing, no tagging, and there's no person that's it. Maybe this comparison wasn't the strongest. But anyways, as I'm sure most of us know, Fortnite's best days are far behind it. That's not to say it's bad, it's just less popular and significant now than it ever was before. And that's what I'm here to talk about. This is Fortnite's downfall. Really quick, I just wanted to say the support on my last video was insane. You guys brought me from 28 subscribers to over 1,000, and I'm so thankful for that. But I still have a long way to go, so it would still mean a lot to me if you'd hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, a like would also help me out a lot. Thank you. And let's get on with the video. So I think to fully grasp why Fortnite was such a powerhouse in the first place, we need to examine what came before it. There were a few games before Fortnite that really paved the way for it. Two of the most famous were H1Z1 and PUBG. They really popularized the battle royale genre, which at the time was a pretty new concept. They both had similar realistic looking graphics, and most of the time kept a pretty serious tone to them. At the same time as this, Epic Games was getting ready to release their brand new game Fortnite, who would have guessed, onto early access. And they saw this battle royale genre, and in the last few months of developing Fortnite for its early release, Epic decided to slap together a battle royale, and that was the birthplace of Fortnite. In Fortnite's early days, I think what really set it apart from the other battle royales was the fact that it was free to play, along with its unique building mechanic that would make regular gunfights dynamic with the ability to control all the cover. It was something seldom seen in video games, and it definitely helped to grow interest in this game. But at the start, growth was kinda slow, and the game was pretty bare bones too. There wasn't even a battle pass like we know it today. It was also a very visually unique game from other battle royales, and just games in general at the time, taking a very cartoony art style which was memorable and made it immediately recognizable. And by the time of Season 2 of Fortnite, it was already a cultural icon. And in Season 2 it introduced one of the most influential features of gaming, be it for better or worse. It was their implementation of the Battle Pass. Now, this wasn't the first game to have a Battle Pass, but it was the first one to make a huge impact with it. It felt great to the consumers because it had so much in it for one low price, and it was great for Epic Games as well, because since it was progression based, it meant either you had to play the game for longer amounts of time, or you could buy Battle Pass tiers with V-Bucks, which would cost you real money. It's a win either way for Epic Games, and a win for the consumer too, depending on how you see it. And the Battle Pass being timed gave people more incentive to play because you didn't want to be the one person that didn't get the floss emote. And then 2018 came, and this was objectively Fortnite's biggest year in terms of relevancy. It was everywhere, and Epic kept new features coming to keep more players playing. New battle passes, new types of cosmetics, new map changes, and I think most interestingly, live events. Live events are a really unique thing. Not just in terms of what happens, but in terms of their use in gaming. Still to this day, Fortnite is giving the best live events, and not many games are even trying to pull them off. In 2018, each one of these was truly an event, with the servers crashing for people trying to get to a match to play, and everyone talking about the event the next day at school. As well as these events usually pertaining to the overall plot of the game, or just doing something radical that would change up the game entirely. All seemed well with Fortnite, especially with the new creative mode which let people make their own games with assets of Fortnite for anybody to play. Although, at the end of the year, some people started hating on it, saying it was a dead game and claiming it stopped being good. 2019 started off kinda rocky. People were trashing Fortnite, saying that it was bad and that it had just gotten worse as the time went along. But Epic kept doing the same things as they'd been doing to make Fortnite popular, and it just wasn't working anymore. And they knew that they had to do something big to bring more interest to the game. And so towards the end of the year, they blew up the entire map, and it was big. It was everywhere. The game was down for a few days, and every time you tried to play, you would just be greeted with an ominous void in a black hole.
Do you see this freaking void? Look at the void!
And then all of a sudden, there was a new map with a new everything. New boats, new locations, new characters, new music, new gameplay mechanics, and even slight tweaks to the art style. It was a true revitalization of the game, and with that came a bunch of new and old players to try it out. 2020 was like 2018, Part 2, except a little less popular. While the rest of the world was going down, Fortnite seemed to stay afloat pretty well. So many people were playing, and with every new season came brand new game modes and brand new mechanics, and a large emphasis was placed on the story, with fully walking, talking, sometimes, NPCs and mini-bosses, as well as a lot of crossover skins from properties like Stranger Things and Marvel. It once again seemed like Fortnite was on top of the world. For now. And then 2021 came. It started off pretty strong, and slowly as it went along, people started playing less and less just like they had done before. And with a few seasons that just weren't as good as they should have been, it was really seeming like the game wouldn't last for much longer. And then again, just like before, Epic got rid of the entire map and replaced it. And once again, it worked. And of course with this new map came new everything. It was amazing to see Epic pull this off not once, but twice. And unfortunately, this was the last time that I think it truly hit that same peak that it was once at. So 2022 came around and Fortnite was still stable. I don't think that's ever going to change, but the player counts I don't think are ever going to get as high as they once were. And Epic kept releasing new content during all this, and once again they destroyed the map. But this time during the live event, it just broke on a lot of people, including me. I had to ask my friend what was happening even though I was in the game, because it just broke. And while maybe not causing too much of a decrease in players, I know that it left a sour taste in some people's mouths, as well as the event just not being as good as everyone expected it to be. And then there was a whole new map, just like before, except this time the changes were more minor. And now we're in 2023. The game is still big as always, and people still play it, but it doesn't reach those numbers that it used to, as well as the game being very unwelcoming for new players due to the current players abusing the building meta to all extremes. But we don't know. Epic could do something so crazy and out of left field that brings everyone back, but that hasn't happened so far, so I'm not too sure that it will in the future. As for the making of this video, a new version of Creative has just been released, and it pretty much gives players the ability to create almost anything and let people play. It's kind of like Roblox. It's an awesome feature, but I don't see many people talking about it, unfortunately. As for the future, I don't know what's in store for Fortnite. I like to think that it'll have a big comeback, but I don't know. It could have what I like to call the Minecraft effect, where people rag on it for a few years, and then it makes a huge comeback out of nowhere. But until then we have a few years. Right now it just seems to be a decently stable game with plenty of players. Not as many as it did before, but I don't think it'll die soon, if ever. But I think a dead game is a bad term anyways. As for my personal experience with it, I played it consistently with like a month or two off in between, from 2017 to 2022. But since Chapter 4 started, I haven't felt a real need to go back to the game. There's nothing new that's out that really piques my interest other than maybe the new creative. But maybe that'll change in the future, who knows. If you watched this far, then you might as well subscribe. It'd really help me out. And leave a like. I just really appreciate it. And I'd like to mention that there was a big gap between my last video and this one, and I realized that I didn't intend on it being so long. Just a lot happened since then, and I stayed pretty busy, and for a while my posts might be a bit more sporadic, but eventually it should all even out, and it shouldn't be a long wait at all between videos. I apologize for the inconvenience, but as always, I hope you like this video. If you have any ideas for future videos, leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.